Hello, Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for Fairy Tale 100 Years Quest, Chapter 81, which is over a week late. I've been very busy. If you did not catch my Eden Zero video, I explained that I had been very busy the past couple of weeks. And so a lot of things sort of fell to the wayside, but I'm slowly recovering over the next few days. I hope to catch up on my backlog. But anyway, when we last left our heroes, Natsu and eventually the rest of Team Natsu met Suzaku of Diabolos. And they all kind of got along swimmingly for a moment until everyone ended up kind of revealing their various guild affiliations. And Suzaku very easily struck down Urza, and even more easily struck down Natsu. And things looked pretty bad for Team Natsu before Selene showed up with the surviving Beauty Gods. And so now Suzaku and Selene are fighting while Team Natsu tries to run away with Hakune and Mimi chasing after them. That's where we left off, going into Chapter 81, Sword Saint. And our picture here is of Brandish in like a hoodie, sucking a lollipop, feeling like street style every once in a while. I don't know if this is foreshadowing a return of Brandish. I would not mind. I'm a well-known Brandish fan. But anyway, we open where we left off, with Suzaku and Selene kind of staring each other down. Just the sheer magical energy between them sort of, causing the ground, like, just, what I'm guessing are like shards of the ground to sort of float between them. But I think both of them go to pull a sword. We see Suzaku go to pull a sword. And I don't think the last panel on page 3 is the same sword. So maybe that's Selene? Does Selene use a sword? No, that's just Suzaku. But Selene ends up leaping over him. And sort of the trail she leaves is a very kind of crescent moon shape, which seems plausible that like that's part of her powers. Anyway, Suzaku kind of stunned. She dodged, and Selene smiles at him. A sword drawing art? Interesting. The moonlight shines, the flame of the gods. Moonlight flame! And she summons a whole bunch of fire to sort of surround Suzaku. And Suzaku kind of draws his sword, and cuts the flame, it looks like, into like shards. I don't remember if I made this comparison or not in the past, but it kind of reminds me of, I forget his name, the sword drawing guy in Infinite Dendrogram. How his secret ability is that he slows down time for the exact amount of time he's unsheathing the sword. Or something like that. And I'm curious if that's kind of the key to Suzaku's power. We don't know, though, what his dragon element is. I mean, sure, Diablo's been getting kind of weird with dragon elements the whole time, with, blade and armor and ash, and the concept of sticky, I think, was Nabal's element. But if it's, unsheathing, that's, a step above in terms of weirdness. But anyway, Suzaku was kind of cut the flames, and Selene lands. So you've cut my flames, but the moon cannot lose its radiance. And from the flames turn into butterflies, stunning Suzaku, and then surrounding him. Gwa! Dance! Moonlight butterflies! And the butterflies start to form this, tornado surrounding Suzaku. And then it sort of, erupts into flame, it looks like. But Suzaku kind of withstands it. And we see the butterflies are still kind of attacking him as he goes to draw his sword. Carnegie style sword drawing art. Underworld drop. And I'm not quite sure what element that's sort of supposed to be. Because it does look somewhat elemental, like fire or lightning or something. But the butterflies are all kind of split in two, and their broken halves fall to the ground. And as the sort of dust clears, we see that he also manages to get a cut on Selene. Suzaku has drawn blood. Um, and Selene sort of reacts to all of this. Kurnugi, you say? But he is. And Suzaku looks at her. I slew him. So Kurnugi must be a dragon. I was kind of assuming that Kurnugi was like a misspelling or something. That it might have been like Kurunugi, because that seemed more because Suzaku was a very kind of Japanese, traditional Japanese style, and that I'm not like an expert. Oh, hold on, I missed a translator note. Kurnugi is the name of the Mesopotamian underworld. That would have been very helpful for me to read last time or earlier in the video. But I was thinking that like Kurunugi sounded more, if not like an actual Japanese name, in the same kind of sounds that would make a Japanese name. And so I thought maybe that the translators had dropped a U or something. But no, it's the name of a dragon and the name of the Mesopotamian underworld. Maybe Suzaku's like a death dragon slayer. I don't know. I slew him. Kurnugi was devoured by me. And so I has gained this power. Sword Saint Dragon Slayer magic. Okay, that's quite a step above Blade Dragon Slayer magic. Okay. And Selene seems genuinely stunned for the first time. The Sword Saint Dragon Kurnugi was eaten by you? And she kind of grins. I see. So you gain a dragon's power by consuming one. Humans don't know their place. I will say, this isn't quite related to anything, but it sure is good. It sure is convenient that Acnologia apparently had. I've kind of theorized before that Acnologia just had no ability to sense dragons. Specifically with the scene where he's talking to Irene and has no idea that she's a dragon. And you know, you can kind of slide 5 dragons escaped Acnologia and got stronger. But God, just so many just kind of escaped Acnologia. He was not good with his extermination plan. Anyway, back to the actual chapter. Selene questions him. Do you intend to consume me as well? Nay, only to present thou to my master. That, though, and I don't know if that's something in the original Japanese, or if it's just the translators not knowing Middle English well enough. Thou is not an object. Thou is only used as the subject of a sentence. It should be only to present thee to mine master. I did not take multiple Shakespeare classes in college for nothing. I know this shit, okay? Anyway, Selene laughs. And we see some kind of like magical pressure rising. It's been quite some time since I've met a human as conceited as you. How very interesting. Come, let us see what happens when I get a little serious after so long, shall we? And she's ready to go. That's a badass shot right there. Which is why I bet on the next page is going to be time for Team Natsu. Yep, here's a bit of a forest establishing shot as we see Mimi and Hakune chasing after Team Natsu. And Gray looks back. They're still following us? And Hakune just kind of laughs. Mimi is just like full energy. And Gray is sort of frustrated. Damn it, we've got injured people over here. And Lucy looks back. Those two are so strong. And Happy is just exhausted. We're not familiar with this place at all. And Carlo, and we only started running so suddenly. And we see, you know, I really like the kind of details shown, just how dirty they are. You know, the battle on the mountain has taken its toll, and now they're dealing with Mimi and Hakune. But now, just then, Aqua Era forms in front of them. Shocking Wendy. And it's Touka calling through the Aqua Era. Happy summer, everybody, this way. That's a good way to kind of like get them out of the battle for now. We see Happy love struck. Touka! And Carla just kind of glares at him. The Gray calls, "Everybody jump!" And all of them jump through the hole. Hakune lets out a little, "Oh my," as Mimi just like huffs and air comes out her nostrils, and the Aqua Era poofs away. They've successfully escaped. It would seem we've lost them. But Mimi looks around. "No. I can smell them. Over there. Hold on to me, Hakune." I've been getting her name wrong again. I think this is not the first time that's happened, as I recall. It's Hakune and Hakone. My bad. So apparently they have not warped that far away. But Mimi picks up Hakune, and Hakune kind of chuckles. "Oh my, I look just like a princess." And Mimi, I think, kind of like gathers magical energy into her legs. Her muscles kind of expand, like the veins pulsing in her calf muscle. And Mimi tells her, "Don't be so sure of that. The princess here is me." Big fan of Mimi. I love Mimi. She's fun. But Hakane is kind of confused by her. And Mimi just takes off. But then we cut to the Whiteout Village. As Team Natsu, I guess, is just sort of fallen into the Elder's temple. As the Elder kind of reacts, Who are they?" And Faris calls, "Everyone!" But Gray and Lucy are still on edge. You know, they've just kind of come from the battle. "Just let us borrow a bed, and medicine, and bandages." And Wendy tells them, "I will take care of the rest of the treatment." And we see Natsu and Urza just unconscious, you know, bloodied up. And the Elder kind of panics. "What is going on?" And Faris turns to the Elder. "This is everybody from Fairy Tail, which I was telling you about." "What? They came to this world to defeat Selene? But they're being defeated!" Okay, don't be rude, Granny. And the Elder kind of huffs. "Defeating Selene should be left to Suzaku-sama. He is handsome too." And Gray just sort of turns to snap at her. "Granny, can you be quiet for a bit?" And the Elder sort of completely changes her tune when Gray looks at her. "Wow, this one is handsome too. I like being treated rough too." Okay, Elder, whatever makes you happy. But their respite does not last long, because just then, Mimi slams open the door to the temple, and yells, "Taking on challengers!" Fuck. Yeah, Gray and Lucy's reaction kind of says it all there. They're kind of fucked. I mean, maybe the whiteout group can do something, but I don't know. Happy is just shaking. "No way." So that was way too deep a voice for Happy. Hold on. "No way." And Carla turns to Touka. "Were you being followed? That should not be." But Mimi tells them, "I have a good sense of smell," and kind of like rubs her nose. And Lucy turns to Wendy. "Is this person also a dragon slayer?" "No, that shouldn't be the case." And so Gray and Lucy kind of get ready to fight, as they're sort of, you know, all that's left once Wendy starts taking care of Natsu and Urza. "Natsu and Urza are in critical condition. We have to do this." And Lucy responds, "Yeah." But just then, they're kind of distracted by the light. And we see the moon is just huge in the sky, shocking everyone. Wendy's just stunned. The Elder calls, "What is it?" Touka, "The moon is so big." And Faris is just stunned, like frozen. "Something like this." So yeah, this definitely seems to be sort of the after effects of what we saw on page 12. With Selene's, let us see what happens when I get a little serious after so long. But yeah, we see Hakune's response. Well, it seems like somebody somewhere made Selene get really serious. And Mimi drops, "Hugeness is justice." And Gray kind of grunts, "What is going on with this Selene?" And Lucy calls, "The size of the moon changes when she gets serious." And back with Selene, she kind of glares down Suzaku as the whole world just kind of rumbles around her. To be continued. That's where we leave off. Okay. This is a really fun chapter. So we open with just, you know, Suzaku and Selene going at each other. Not 100% yet, obviously. At least in Selene's case. I imagine not in Suzaku's case either. But we do get to see, some cool moves. We see there's something up with the way Suzaku draws the blade. It seems to be important. The unsheathing in particular. But we see some a moon fire spell, like butterflies. She can then turn them into butterflies. I'm kind of curious what exactly moon magic means. I'm curious what exactly are the limits of her abilities. Can she just create anything with moonlight? I don't know. I'm curious to see where exactly that takes us. Then we get a bit of a lore drop. Not much of a lore drop, but enough to know where Suzaku gets his powers from. From eating Kernugi, the Sword Saint dragon. Which is interesting. We don't really know we don't know anything about Kernugi beyond the title of his magic. But it seems to be, Kiria was blades. This is both more specific in that it's swords, and also kind of higher, and that's a sword saint. So he is kind of a more powerful Kiria. But also, wasn't part of Kiria's abilities like cutting metaphorical things? Like she kind of cuts Urza's mind back in the Merphobia arc. And this seems to be a bit more physical than Kiria. So I think maybe he's sort of limited in a way that Kiria isn't, but also kind of higher for it. His sword ability is more powerful. Anyway, the Suzaku Selene fight will definitely be exciting. Beyond that, most of the chapter is kind of dedicated to Mimi and Hakune chasing Team Natsu. They get the briefest of reprieves by Touka sort of warping them to the Whiteout village. That does not last long, as now Lucy and Gray are Wendy and Natsu and Urza's last lines of defense against the two remaining beauty gods. And I can't wait to see how this all shakes up. So yeah, I'm gonna leave this video off here. Hope you all enjoyed the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe, or do whatever makes you happy, And remember, your life is your own, okay? Bye!